Thank you for tuning into The Disclosures with Peter the Insider and Jessica Ariel Morocco. Peter is the director of the 12th Division of the ACIO, Advanced or Alien Contact Intelligence Organization. Jessica is a galactic liaison and the interdimensional seer. Together they will discuss the most current updates from the ACIO, Council of Five, and other extraterrestrial sources regarding many influences on our planet today. Our new format allows you to ask questions and hear the answers from the previous show. Post your question in the comment section below the YouTube video. Disclosures, insider intel that keeps you updated with planetary changes.
Hello everyone. Thank you for joining us today in Disclosures. We have an interesting show today with Peter the Insider, and we're going to cover some random topics and some of the current events that are happening in our world today, and I thought I'd have Peter assist me in reviewing some of these topics and having a discussion about it. So without further delay, here is Peter the Insider.
Thank you for regular opportunity to be on your show. I think that will be fair enough for our regular listeners. I want to say hi to them too. And just one piece of info that I think that I got it through my head. Will be better to do such a, let's say, shorter show. That means, I don't know, like between 1 and 1.5 hours. Just by the way, you will maybe notice that. Okay, you, Jessica, sent me, give me a second, 7 quite interesting topics, and why the heck not? Let's start to talk about them.
Okay, so we had talked about some of the things that they're doing with underage children, and here is a movie or a TV show on Netflix that was trying to promote sexually exploitative cuties movie, which is underage children in very compromising dancing and some other suggestive activities that young children should not be doing, and not trying to appeal to a much older audience, and which is the very heartbreaking thing for parents to look at, adults that have a conscience to look at. Remember, these are children. There's supposed to be a level of innocence, and the destruction of the innocence of these young children. Essentially, they called it a burlesque dance group, which is disturbing. The group of 11-year-olds. I mean, it's putting them in sexual situations. They're somebody's children, and this is what's feeding the abuse in our society, and saying that it's acceptable. Sexual predator games, people, outside of schools, watching children in playgrounds, abductions, all sorts of things can happen, right? So what do you think's happening here, Peter? Why is it that people are literally lowering their moral standard and, sending the children to the wolves?
It is, as I like to say, it is a circle. It is a circle. Let's say it is like this Pantarei symbol, like a snake eating his. Do you know what I mean? Like the very end. And this circle, I mean, within this term, you can imagine the sort of, how can we say it, total designation of and degradation of civilization. because technically this what we can see, and this is not just this movie or TV show or I don't know what. This is pretty much like for 3-4 decades, but let's say 2 or 3 decades. This kind of is absolutely crazy. What the heck is going on with sexuality and all kind of that stuff, and it is like that, and it was absolutely the same stuff in ancient Greece and Rome, that technically normal sexual orientation was from a majority of civilization. It was considered as something what is out. You are not in once you are not lesbian or gay or bisexual or I don't know, pedophilia or something like that. And this is exactly it. It took like 2 millennia, 2000 years, or I don't know, maybe 22, 23, 24 centuries or something like that, and we are in the end of the circle. It's very bad to say, it's hard to say, but
maybe there's a group that wants to perpetuate this.
I want to say yes, you are right, but only partially, because you know, this is the circle, as I like to say, and it's like this is the all of kind of that problems are bad influences. They should stay in old context of existence, all old matrix. They are remainings of old matrix, and once people don't want to get rid of them, this kind of residuum effects will be very complicated. I mean, very complicated to get rid of. Let's say it that way.
Well, I think that in ancient Rome, in Greece, they might have done this, but it wasn't happening throughout the world. So that was a society, but not worldwide. Whereas this is training in telling people, young males and females, that children are to be preyed upon. That children, you can make money by trafficking children. That you are adults. That the sex industry doesn't have any boundaries. This is going because of our media and the way that the movie industry and everyone, that even the little corners of the world that would never have heard anything like this or would not be exposed to it are now have this in their thinking.
Yeah, you are right, but give me a second. You are right on one hand, but on the other hand, this is true or only partially, and I will say why. Because this kind of, let's say, bombing of with certain amounts of information and certain way of informing and all kind of that stuff, it's about individual. If he or she as a person will accept it or not. Do you know what I'm talking about? So it is bad. Definitely, it is bad, and people should be aware of it, and they should I don't know, share it via mainstream. My bad, sorry, via social media, on all kind of that stuff. But it's always about people. If they will follow, if they will choose to be, as a flock, literally as a flock of sheep, or and that's the problem, because once they are in the flock, they fake believe that they are safe. What is absolutely not true. It's vice versa, just by the way. And I mean, this is the first option, or either this first option or second option. They will choose opposite, and via choosing opposite, that means, in other words, not accepting this absolutely wicked, twist-minded uh, ideas, they will get rid of that. And since then they will not accept that, then they will be safe themselves. And what is what will be more important, they will save next generation, aka their children or grandchildren. But all of us, we know what we are talking about. Yeah,
But this
that's
is,
pretty much it.
yeah, I mean, essentially, this is another type of slave system. Children don't have a choice. They're completely pulled into a slave system, and they keep on using this African girl, which is to me another type of profiling or racism. And for you're seeing this a lot because why are they doing this? And they're trying to keep people under thumb in this other way. Like, what choice does a child have in any of
Yes,
these matters? They
it
have
is pretty,
nothing, no choice. It's a slave.
yes, you are right. It is pretty much the same crazy level of craziness, and in Norway, once you turned 12, I mean age 12, it isn't like you are right. You have, it is mandatory. You are obligated to. There are crazy amounts of papers, yeah, and bureaucracy, and you need to uh, choice if you want to raise the same sex as you was born or opposite. That means there will be, I don't know how many operations, and you will get from boy to woman, or from a girl to man.
But
This is
that's here
for,
again. It's not adults that are consenting and they understand. They're children who don't have a voice. The parents are pushing it on them, probably for attention, money, whatever that they're
no,
doing.
no, no, you are not right. They are completely putting they are completely putting them out of families. They don't ever ask
So it's a slave system.
yeah,
Yeah.
they are not, give me a second, they are not asking they are not asking parents, or I don't know, grandparents or whatever. No, they are asking themselves. What is absolutely, because I've got many friends in Norway, and I was like, okay, I like your style of humor, because I mean, I am. Please don't take it wrong. I am not making fun from that, but for me, once I get it first time to this info, I was like, okay, I like style of humor, but it is not even close to be funny. And then, what in the world is that? And that was it. Like, no, and that's the stuff. They are 12 years old children. Holy moly!
Probably
They,
younger than that. You know why they do
yeah,
that,
yeah. It
Peter?
is. It
They
take
do that
like,
because it's easier to transform the body at a younger age, but it violates the person's free will because they're being coerced and manipulated into it through discussions.
yeah,
You
yeah,
can groom someone to want to change their. I'm not saying that all people, there aren't people that are gay or not gay, that has nothing to do with it, but the grooming part is something that's malicious, and it's done to confuse people. Like,
yeah,
if you're trying to deliberately dress a boy up as a little girl and tell them they look better as a little girl. I mean, of course they want to appease or please that person. And I do have a video on that where this guy was forced into a gender reorientation, and he or reassignment, and he said when he got older that he was just trying to please his grandmother. He said, but he really didn't necessarily feel this way, but he got a lot of approval from people. And as he got older, he changed it, and he says, don't ever let anyone force you into making any kind of decision that you are not prepared to make. I mean, it's a very big decision and very hard, if not impossible, to return back to that place. And so you never know. And I even have knew of people that were born a certain way with both genders, and the parents, make the decision which gender they should be. And even still, that person was very upset because the parents made a decision for them. And that should have been their decision. And I think as sovereign beings, as humans, we have a right to make our own decision. It's our body, it's our thinking, and it's our preference. And anyone that's manipulating that, it becomes a slave system, and it's a violation against the soul, in my opinion.
I completely follow, and you are right, but I'm just saying it's absolutely crazy.
All right, so here we've got this. I'm going to just play a little bit. I don't know if we have audio here, but this is over in North Korea.
Having a sexual intimacy with teenage young girls gave them immortality. Kim Jong-il used this pleasure squad to ensure that his succession. So they take these young girls and go for medical exam. Then they verify if they are virgin or not.
So this is you can see it's kind of,
Thank you so
she
much,
talks
guys,
about
again, watching this video. Teenage young girls gave them.
Hold on. How do I get out of here? Okay, so you could see that he already created what he called the pleasure squad, and so the kids were selected for that process. Here's another one. This is in Japan, schoolgirl pinups, and so you're looking at
middle-aged men.
Middle-aged men. That's what we're going to watch. I mean, you could.
I'm on a night out in Tokyo.
So, I mean, I could probably, play this whole thing, but I think maybe people might want to listen to it on their own. This is an issue, isn't it?
But from my point of view, I mean, you will definitely strongly disagree with me, but this is something what is going on in Japan for so long.
Right.
It is nothing bad for them.
I know.
It is completely twisted upside down, but it is nothing bad for them.
And
it is like what the heck are you talking about? It is fine,
It says something to the young girl, and probably the young boy now as well, because I think boys are targeted and preyed upon very much so, equally, I think.
But technically, that's the stuff that they are choosing young girls. They don't have fathers, or their fathers were leave family or died or so, and they love to how we can call it, to serve. Do you know what I mean? For middle-aged men. Do you know what I mean, sir?
But they're not treating them like parents. They're treating them like older women would be treated. When you are a parent.
But they like it.
You don't
but
see.
They like it. But they like it. and they volunteered it, and I'm not faking you.
They want love, Peter. That's not the same thing. Love and having sex with an old man is not the same thing. They want to be accepted and they want to be loved, but they turned it into a sexual thing. Whereas a parent, when they love you regardless. They don't try to sexualize a kid.
But I'm just saying, you are right that it should be, and this is the problem. It should be like that, but problem is that even those, because they are premature, they are not that young, but let's talk 14, 15, something like that, but they want to do it. They want to do it, okay? Free willingly. I was in that world. I was in that world. I was shocked, but it was like that.
They want love, Peter. They want love, and they're willing to do whatever it takes to get love. They want love. That's sad. That's very sad that that's twisted into interpreting that these children want to feel that kind of pain because their bodies are not adapted to a grown man. And
I'm just saying, give me a second, and that is the most important stuff. Part of story. I don't want to say they were not manipulated. Give me a second, because this is most important part of story. You just don't let me finish, okay? I want to say that it was definitely, how can I say that, 100% sure that they were manipulated, okay? But the main part of story was that they like it. It is some sort of, how can I call it, this term, I got it, Stockholm syndrome, some sort of,
right, but that's not healthy, and that's not normal. And every child deserves
I don't
to
want to
have
say
love.
it is normal or it is healthy. I'm just saying, that I was talking.
Saying that they want it is never accurate. It's never accurate. They want love. So saying that they want love, yes. Saying that they'll do anything for love is probably what the issue is. But saying that they want it is the reason why many of these pedophiles think that it's okay.
Give me a second. Do you know what? Let's say it that way in order to be 100% true. They want to want love, but they don't know what love is. Okay, let's say it that way.
Yes. I have clients that are so angry, and they're up in the 60s or 70 years old because they were molested as kids. And they can't get rid of that someone took something from them at a very early age. And it's really hard. I've worked with some people for a very long time, and I can't tell you, no matter what's going on in their life, they're not happy, and they're very tormented by it. And this is not just males, both males and females. They can't really pull their life together. And you know what they do, Peter? They do drugs. That's what they do. They do drugs, they do alcohol to try to bury the emotions of what's going on. This is a horrible crime against humanity.
I completely, give me a second. I completely agree with you. I was just saying that they want love, but they don't know what it is. Give me a second. You just don't let me finish, and that is the problem. And then once I started to to speak with those girls, they pretend that I cannot speak Japanese, because I can, of course, my pronunciation sucks, my grammar and all kind of that stuff sucks, I know that, vocabulary. It is not perfect in English, but if someone really wants, those people get the meaning. And that was the same story with Japanese. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like, I normally try to figure out for them that this is not good idea and all kind of that stuff. They have some sort of amok. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like maniac and aggressive, some sort of that.
Do they get paid? Do they get paid to be with adults?
Yeah, a
Okay.
lot, a lot.
A lot of money. Right.
And not in Japanese money, in yen, no, in dollars or euros. Yeah, why? Or British pounds. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you are right. Yeah, you are right.
Which is sad.
And that, what do you know
Sad
what
for
is
me.
twisted part of that story? That
It's not funny,
they
Peter. It's a very
no,
sad situation.
I am not laughing about that. I am laughing at in I don't want to if should I laugh or whatever, but they despite they get it. I mean those crazy amounts of money. They still don't believe that that I'm talking money and all kind of goods. I mean all kind of presents and blah 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 stuff that it was given to them because of sexual services.
Of course
They
they
don't
know that.
believe it.
They say yes, unless there's someone handling the money.
But give me a second, they don't believe it.
Because
No,
then
they
someone else is handling the money.
no, you don't get it. They got a lot of money, but they don't believe that they was paid because of sexual services. The money. Sorry, my bad. The mind, the ideal, the philosophy is so twisted. Like it or not, it's true.
Well, that's because they're damaged. They psychologically don't understand what's going on. To them, this is real. This is how life is
So
supposed to be.
and that's the stuff because they want love. Give me because you don't let me finish. At the time, they want love, but they don't know what it is.
But what about when they get beat up? Is that love too?
What do you mean beat up? Yeah, you mean like okay, I gotcha.
When they get treated violently, is that love?
To be perfectly honest, it's some sort of, as I said, Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah.
It is like,
So
for
none of this
example.
is correct. None of this should be happening on the
No, I
planet.
know you are right, but try to said this to them. Of course you are right, but they, uh, yeah, they've been so brainwashed that once you start to say this to them, you will get very upset and angry to you that no, 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 this is my comfort zone, and this is not because they've got money. No, this is because they simply believe that they are here for how we can say it politely, pleasuring. Do you know what I mean? Pleasuring.
Yeah, Peter, this is not good. It's not a good way to say it. The topic here's the way to say it, Peter.
I'm here.
At that point that they're a client, you're a client to them, and they have those like a pimp that's probably watching them
But
and
give me a second.
threatening to hurt
Give
them.
me a second. Give me a second. I was client, but not in order for that kind of service. I tried to say, what is it about for real, right? And that was pretty much it. That I was trying to do something, and they try to pretend they don't. I mean that I don't. I can't speak Japanese or something like that. Then I tried English or German because they can. Or do you know what I'm talking about? And that was it. It's some sort of Stockholm syndrome, you know. You
But
cannot.
also that they're professionals at that point, whatever age, and they're threatened probably if they don't act the right way. And any person that approaches them is a client. Anyone, male, female, doesn't matter age. So they're trained. You know what a prostitute is. A prostitute's always a prostitute. They understand the exchange. There's money, and there's also someone else that they have to answer to. So they're not out there independently making these decisions. They're enslaved by somebody who is telling them how to behave. And of course, they're going to say that they like it. But no child likes this. A child wants love. They want to hang out with other kids. They don't want to be hanging around adults. They want to play and they want to be innocent, and they don't want their bodies violated.
If as you said, if they wanna hang out with adults, then hang out with as you said, like really hang out. But no, I completely got you. I got you. You
Yeah,
know.
it's not a very kind environment, and I don't think it should be even on this planet, to be honest with you. But here's another example of, the LGBT, which, they want their rights,
And
which
you need to say me this, because this is I don't know which one is more bigger problem. I mean, like, what the heck, this or that, what we are
yeah, well, I said
seeing.
says no age right here. So there's absolutely no age limit, and there's people right now thinking that it's cool to have sex with babies. I mean, this is really crossing the. It's disgusting. It's I can't believe that anyone could be that evil to violate an infant, or even to be attracted. I mean, it's so bizarre. I mean, children are beautiful. They're like little angels,
You are right.
And it's sad for me to see that. People can have their rights, and as an adult, you make your choices as an adult. You don't make choices for someone else, other than then they become a slave. They're manipulated, and they're a child.
But as I said, try to tell them, because I am maybe a total amateur in that, but try to say them that this is not as it should be, because they started immediately react like you are their enemy. No, I am not kidding you. That's the problem.
No, at this point they're already in the brain. They're brainwashed, or MyLab, or whatever program that they're in. It's the same thing with interacting with adults who have. It's called grooming, and they've groomed them to take on their role, and they're subhuman, and they're there to serve others. They have that slave system.
Yeah, I know.
So here's right now this guy right here, who was on the Biden campaign. I guess he was charged with producing child pornography. So this is the type of stuff. It's becoming very common. Oh, it's okay. Joe Biden, he's seen constantly touching children inappropriately. Publicly, he doesn't care. There's no filter. And, there's people that are on his team, obviously, that agree with that lifestyle.
Yeah.
So,
right.
Okay, so we're going to change the subject, because this is pretty heated. And I'm sorry, this is a trigger point for me.
No, I am just saying, give me a second. It's fine. I don't want to say it's fine, but it's normal. And I was upset too, but what the heck should I do? Then once I try to say that what you are doing is not okay, and they start to get at me, like.
No, you can't. Well, yeah, because then they're going to get hurt if you try to pull them out. So either you rescue them and pull them out and get them in an environment where people are actually kind and not wanting to have sex with children or creepy or anything like that. And then that's the only way they're going to be helped. But as long as you try to talk to them and their pimp is around, whether it's Ghislaine Maxwell type or someone else, nobody really knows what their pimp looks like, because they're going to be, maybe they look like a regular person, because Ghislaine Maxwell looked like a regular person. She didn't look like someone that would be trafficking and allowing snuff activity with, child kill porn and all sorts of stuff like that. And who would have guessed that she would have been involved in something like that by looking at her? You wouldn't,
Yeah, I know.
So I don't know why I pulled this up, because I was like, this is going on. They found a brain in Wisconsin. A man.
What do you mean? What do you mean, like a brain?
Like it looked like it looked like a chicken breast, but kind of. The man who was, they actually literally saw what looked like a brain, and they don't have a picture of it. Probably because it's not very. Probably isn't.
I got you. Okay, I'm okay.
Yeah.
No. I completely got you.
Which makes you think that there's something going on, and I mean, it's one thing you find a body, but why just a brain there? I don't know. So anyhow, that was kind of a weird article. And
no, I mean, I completely got, but I was. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Like,
I
yeah,
was
where did
kind
I
of.
come up with this? And we're gonna jump into other
No,
stories.
no, it's fine. It's like was like brain. I gotcha.
Yeah, they find a brain on the beach.
I wanna say something. What is definitely not okay, but they are making crazy experiments with hybrids and crossbreeds, and they are cutting them and tearing them apart, and they are throwing the parts out of the flying plane. I mean, it's disgusting, but I'm saying what we
Well,
experience.
that could be an explanation. I mean, this is Wisconsin where we had a lot of all the riots and everything were happening. And so they said that a beach visitor found what appeared to be a brain on the shores of Lake Michigan. Authorities don't believe the brain is from a human, but stressed that the investigation was still underway. And this guy by the name of Jimmy Senda was walking Tuesday along the beach at Samuel Myers Park in Racine, collecting sea glass for his art collection when he came across a creepy discovery that left the residents and law enforcement bewildered. I don't really know how to explain it. It didn't register. I
Give
was
me,
just like, what is this?
give me
And
a
then,
second. I'm just saying, okay,
yeah,
that they are doing that, and they try to guess technically some sort of bleed through, but this will not sound nice, but we can be happy that this is only kind of bleed through from another reality of umbrella activity. And that's the problem, because once I will say something like that, of course people will be upset about me, but really believe.
not about that. If it's this is not. Let's specify. This is the Umbrella Corporation,
Yeah,
but not the
yeah.
Umbrella Academy, right? So this is not.
No,
Yeah.
why you are asking always about Umbrella Academy? We will make certain, let's say, self-standing section for them.
Okay. All
Yay!
right. All right. So he came
Be
across.
patient. Be patient. You are just like a little girl. I'm in the candy shop.
I don't know if this is candy that we're looking at here, but anyhow.
No, it is some sort of, once someone is way too impatient, I wanna my cake.
I think it was just because it sounds like the same group, but I just want to specify that they're two different ones, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I mean, you are right. I'm just,
All right.
yeah.
So the guy said, I came across this square package wrapped in aluminum foil, and around it had a pink rubber band. He said, curiosity got to me, so I popped it up, and it looked like a chicken breast, kind of. It looked a bit like it was bit for it to really register what was going on, and it was a brain, he continued. And so then they went to just try to discover what it was. And then he said, according to the station, there were some graphics, flowers and what looked like paper with Mandarin characters printed on it was also found with the possible brain. So there's the Umbrella Corporation based over in China. They said it was Mandarin characters on the paper
No,
around.
they've got branches all around the world.
Yeah, but you see though the Mandarin
No,
characters on the paper.
I know, but I'm just saying it's kind of, usual modus operandi that they want to create tension between two countries, or even make it more and more, they want to pike it. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like, because big tension is between US and China for pretty long time, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. But that could, like you said, it could be the Umbrella Corporation though too.
Yep.
So, all right, we'll change the subject. And I want to ask you about this boy right here. We were talking about super soldiers, and here's a young boy from Russia who said, and this is an older story, that he's from Mars. and he has apocalyptic warnings. And his name is Boris Kiprianovich.
Kiprianovich. Yeah.
Okay. Now, are you familiar with him, Peter?
Yeah, but because he has some sort of mission, and I don't want to talk about that because it's kind of ongoing stuff. I simply don't want to talk about that.
You saw some of his artwork. Well, I mean, this is
But
stuff that's
I
already out
just
there.
want to say, that his stuff are legit. But I don't want to say all of them, and that's kind of stuff that I don't want to make it special and detailed. Special and detailed.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, he has, here's pictures of like tall whites and some other things that he saw on air raids and some Martian spaceships. So no, I understand what you're talking about, and then he saw
It's not
a
okay. It's not okay to do such a stuff.
To talk about it now.
Yep.
Yeah, I understand. But anyhow, yeah, it's something definitely worth looking into. It's an interesting story. And
No, I mean, I don't want to say it is not, but I don't want to sabotage the mission. I don't want to. Nope.
And we're not going to do that.
I mean, I'm trying to do my best in order to keep people informed, as fresh as possible, but sometimes it's simply not a good idea to do so.
So this is Mars Colony Corporation, or is it something, or that's what it is? Okay.
That's the problem. I think that they lose control in certain ways because their agenda start to get way too wide, too deep and complicated. And from my point of view, this is my personal opinion. Okay, they should be more careful who the hell they are. I don't know, renting certain spaces and facilities on Mars and all kind of that stuff. And I don't want to say they don't care, but they don't make regular controls and all kind of that stuff. And very bad groups and situations occur, and events occur on Mars because of that. And this is real deal. And to be honest, I think that they don't care. MCC, Mars Colony Corporation, and many people say yes, you are right. I mean, to me personally, in person talk, it was some sort of, as I like to say, chit chat, but it was like this movie P.S. I love you, So it was like some chit chat. And Mars Colony Corporation sucks, and I was like, so you ensure me. Just by the way, sorry, I want to make it, to get it into it, some sort of my personal, opinion. Okay.
Well, and I guess that people would say, well, how is this related to the earlier topics? And just to bring it in, I mean, he's a child that was gifted, and we don't know how many gifted children or starseed children, or children that are on other projects.
I know pretty much. Some of them, pretty much, but his kind of stuff, what he is saying, I don't want to touch that. As I said, I don't want to sabotage mission. Nope.
No. I'm pointing out that he's a young child, and that there are other young children out there, and the children are the future, and so this was another way of the value of children being treated properly.
Yes, you are absolutely right.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to change the subject and introduce this topic here. So there's some activity going on regarding the royal family, and here's Queen Elizabeth II could be removed by more countries as the House of Card falls. And so there other nations are pulling away from her full sovereignty. And
Okay, I will say, long story short, sorry, you can read through the article. I will say why. 2 words. Two words, 1 term. Show house. Period.
this is Show House.
Yeah. Technically it should be Show House Club, but they are running under name. I mean, they are more frequently known under Show House because they, as I like to say, seen through. They got it that it is not that Show House has, I mean, had for centuries very strong ally in royal, I mean in family, right? But it is vice versa. That technically Show House as a club is taking, they I don't want to say they are taking, they took over the whole Commonwealth, the control of whole Commonwealth, all the Commonwealth countries, and that's a problem. It's a solid problem. That's not okay. But sorry, it was rude. It was not okay to stop or interrupt you or something, but I need to do so. I was obligated to do so because this is very important.
Well,
This
I know
is,
that yeah, the Shaw House issue is something that's really very, very obvious these
yeah,
days. Yeah.
because what they are doing, no. And just by the way, they are doing all sorts of stuff. We were talking about child trafficking for pretty much you know, and that's the stuff, not only for prostitution but for slavery. Adults of course too.
Yes.
For slavery and
Yes.
for prostitution.
Yes.
But for help me, for organs.
Organs, yep. And also
But
cannibalism.
Yes, and for experiments.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they've got tons of stuff. You know, they are responsible for tons of stuff. I don't know, like technology. I mean, earth technology, information, weaponry kind of stuff. It's bad. They are bad. They are pure evil, you know.
So Canada could follow Barbados in ditching Queen as head of state amid Brexit row. So they're saying that Canada might be looking at exiting as well. It's interesting because Harry's in the U.S.
Yep, you
All
are right.
Changing the subject once again.
Okay.
This is interesting, and I don't know how to start it off with. Japan's Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, and his cabinet resign. 9/15/20. This was posted. All right. So next one.
What? Just say me. Okay. Just.
France's Prime Minister Edouard Philippe and his ministers submit their resignation. July 3, 2020. Beirut explosion. Lebanon's entire government resigns. So we've got resignations going on.
Yep.
Have you ever seen a whole government collapse and resign at once? This is one of the Q followers posted this.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
Interesting.
This is not interesting. This is normal, at least from my point of view, because that was one hell of crazy stuff what they was able to do. They, that means not the hierarchy enslaving you as most of us believe, or we are like pretty much fine with that. No, we are talking about the monarch from another reality that was, let's say, one of the very last big stuff they were able to do so in context of let's call it residue effects. Call it, I don't want to say call it residue effect, but it is not 100% correct to say residue, because it was some sort of a residue plus a bleed truth from another reality, but it was something like that. It was kind of complicated to define it 100% sure, but what it should be.
So this new group, you said this group that's like another reality of Japan is coming in. So
No,
are
give me
they?
a second. I'm saying that they want to get rid of that nonsense.
Yeah, but
Give me a
that's why
second.
they're taking. Are they putting in their representatives instead? That's my question.
Yeah, give me a second. This is that. They don't need to have this kind of. I cannot talk about that because there will be rough words and there will be only some peeps. You know, this is it literally, and that is it. I cannot talk about that because it is rubbish, and there are only two ways how should we do that. Either to clear ourselves, and that is painful, you know. So as I like to say, those three pillars: COVID-19 first, economic collapse second, and violence protests against they don't know what. I mean, initial reasons most people don't know, and for on one hand against something, or for something when in most cases people don't know. I mean, of course there is certain reason, but it is some sort of false flag, fake stuff. What I mean, of course, can be protested for or against, but it is not it reason. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like something what should cause that mass movement or something like that. This is pretty much it what I'm talking about, or respectively what I want to refer at.
Okay. And so yeah, and the Q stuff has kind of, they're not as present on social medias, but I believe that they're still around and still bringing out information. They have brought out a lot of information to the public that doesn't look for alternative media. So I just think that this was nice to see this. Okay, so this is just slightly changing this topic, but not really, because you just said, this is part of the residual effect. And
Yep.
we still see the Marxists and BLM, Antifa, teaming up with the Chinese Communist Party. So it's kind of it's a strange time we're in, and there's a lot of anger, and a lot of these people that are following these movements they're young, they want to join in, they want to be a part of something. A lot of them
But
don't even know what it's about. They don't
give
even
me
understand.
but give me a second. This is what I'm talking about exactly. Protests, and people don't know for or what for or
Yes.
against for. It's like they want to be rebels because to be rebel is trendy. Do you know what I mean? And that's the
Yeah, but they have no idea. It's almost like they have no idea that could mean actually destroying their own homes or some really strange things, which I'm going to bring that topic up as well. It was something that came up. Let's see if I can yeah, this is it. All right, so Minnesota turning it into a refugee camp of Ilhan Omar. So essentially they destroyed the city, and it's full, literally, like I said, destroyed everything, and they want actually money to fix their city again. But someone I talked to is someone I've known for I don't know, a couple of years now, and she works for an insurance agency in that state. And I talked to you about this earlier, that a majority of the
Yes.
people in the city are from Somalia. The dozens, or she says a majority of the population is from Somalia. No, I can't. I don't go to the city, and I don't know on a personal level. But she said there's a high population of Somalians there, and majority of their names are Muhammad, and it's almost like Muhammad is some of their names. And then, of course, they're living in one place and then they're moving a lot. And she said that when they all came in, they refused to have their own birth date, so they all say that they were born on January 1st. And some of them even will say January 1st, 2001 or something like that, even though regardless of their actual age.
So long story short, it doesn't make absolute sense. It's nonsense.
No, and well, why would people destroy their own homes in their own city where they live? And so, yeah, it is, a question of, that was, kind of curious to me. But when she started sharing this, I started thinking about Detroit Becomes Human, and there's a lot of ones, January 1st, ones and zeros, and so it's 01 and then 1, or 0101, if you think about it, if you put, in a numerical value of the time of year. So January 1st, 01, and then the 1st is 01. And so you have this binary something going on, and then everyone's Muhammad, and how do you know who's doing what? And you could say, well, this is, this was planned, and they came in and they had an agenda to bring in some Muslim agenda, but we're actually looking at possible was cyborgs you suggested?
Yes, you are right. You need to consider that we are not talking about, definitely not, we are not, sorry, 1, 2, 3. We are definitely not talking about androids because they are a product of CyberLife, what is company with good intentions. They are they are cyborgs. They are technically, let's say, cyborgs are product of cyborgs. That is like, cyborgs are very highly, how we can say that, developed civilizations. They are making robots looking absolutely similar, not similar, absolutely the same. First step was similar, second step was absolutely the same as they look like, and that was pretty much it. Who
do you think has brought these cyborgs in?
No. I mean cyborgs, but I don't know which which a wormhole they've been through, because of course it is via because of them, respectively, not thanks to them, because of them, but who created this wormhole? Because this is bad wormhole. As I like to say, a red ant, not black ant, but the red ant, and this is not okay. This is, I don't know, this is not okay. Nope.
Yeah, that sounds like a weird story.
Yep,
but
right.
Like I said, when she was explaining it to me, she was pretty baffled. She goes, because they, in order to review people for insurance purposes, it's become incredibly frustrating for them to identify who these people are on an individual basis.
No, I got you.
And then if you try to ask like too many details, of course they get defensive, or that, I don't know what their response is, but I don't know how they figure it out, and they're having trouble keeping track and figuring out how to give insurance to these people. But maybe, like you said, they're, androids, or not androids, cyborgs. Sorry, cyborgs. Sorry, I just slipped, because I thought it was Detroit becomes human scenario, and so you said.
Give me a second. This kind of ish scenario, but vice versa, twisted upside down.
Right, because
negative.
And you realize that Detroit is not that far from here.
Yes, you are right.
Yeah. Okay. And
so what do we have? Actually, do we have something?
Brucellosis bacterial outbreak infects thousands of people after a factory leak in China. Human-to-human transmission is extremely rare, according to the CDC. However, most people are infected by eating contaminated food or breathing in the bacteria, which seems to be the case in Lanzhou. Don't know what to say.
Yep.
Okay. So I guess there's another bacteria outbreak.
Yeah, but it will be not that big deal as COVID, believe me. Nope.
Okay. All right. We looked at that, and
I think that that's our. I mean, for real. I mean, no. Old lady. We are calling her old girl. Outdated. Astrolocust. Lockheed Astrolocust.
So, just spotted a craft alien appearance over the Portland Air National Guard base.
I'm just saying,
Yeah. Okay. And I think we looked at that. Anything to say about Valiant Thor?
I think we can skip that. It's
skip
fine.
That for now. Maybe one day we'll talk about Valiant Thor.
Yep.
Okay. But with that said, then, I guess that's the topics for today. And just to remind everyone that we'll be updating and continuing to put information on the website of Advanced Alien Contact Intelligence Organization, the ACIO agency. And Peter, the insider from the 12th Division of the ACIO. And here we are. So thank you, Peter, for joining us today. And thanks for doing a second show.
Yeah, thank you very much once again for giving me regular opportunity to be on your show. And thank you for all our listeners to hold till here, and I'm looking forward to till next time. Bye.
Okay, thank you, and have a great day, everyone.
You have been listening to Disclosures with Peter the Insider and Jessica Ariel Morocco. Join us on YouTube channel Jessica Ariel Morocco, and visit www.peter-insider.com and www.readingsbyariel.com. Remember to post your questions in the comment section below the video. We look forward to hearing from you.